Hello, my name is Jenny. I am a garden expert and horticulturalist here for Holland Bulb Farms, and I have some exciting news. Our bearded iris have arrived from, we order from a great grower out in Oregon. These are excellent quality bearded iris. Our warehouse crew is just getting ready, getting them packed and everything. So our plan is to start shipping next week. So if you have an order of bearded iris, we'll be sending them out to you next week. And if you want to order bearded iris, now is the time to learn about them, why you should plant them early, and get your order in for early shipping, because the earlier you plant, the better off they will grow for you. So the first thing is, if you haven't ever seen a bearded iris, this is what a dormant bearded iris root looks like when you first get it. So right here, this is, the root growth from the previous season. This part here is the rhizome. This is where all the energy is stored. This is where the flower is going to come from. And having a nice, solid, firm rhizome is what's most important when you are planting your bearded iris for this fall. You'll also notice these, I don't know if you can see them, there's little nodules too.
Perfect.
Okay, there's little nodules too. That's a good healthy sign of a good rhizome. So and then what we have here is the leaf growth from this past season. So right now I can feel that it's pretty, there's some moisture in it, it's green, it's got some growth, but as time goes on, the leaves are gonna dry out, which is completely okay because all the energy for the bulb is stored in the rhizome. So these dried out leaves, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just completely normal. It's part of the dormancy process and everything. So these are dormant bulbs that you'll be planting this fall for blooms in spring of 2019. And the reason why you want to plant your bearded iris now in August or early September, mid-September is fine, is the earlier you plant them, the better results you'll have for next year, the more likely they are to bloom. If you wait till later in the season, there's a good chance that they'll still bloom, but it can definitely reduce the likelihood. So early planting is key. If you live in a cold place, we're here in Wisconsin, it gets really, our winters can be anything, from like 0 degrees to 40 degrees. And you want to get the roots established about 6 weeks before your ground freezes solid for the year. So if you're in a cold climate, anywhere, I don't know, zone 4, hardiness zone 5, even 6, I definitely suggest making sure that you get your bearded iris planted by the end of September for the best results. If you aren't able to do it until later, like I said, most likely you'll still have good results, but you're gonna have a better chance of success with early planting. So that's really important. And I guess another thing I wanna let you guys know about is different sizes. So you see that I have 2 different sizes here. This is a tall bearded iris, which is gonna grow 36 to 48 inches. And then what we have here, this is an intermediate bearded iris. It's not gonna be as tall, it's gonna be more like 18 to 24 inches. So because the plant itself isn't going to grow as large, the rhizome isn't going to be as big, which is also completely normal. So just some things of what to expect when your bearded iris shipment arrives, or if you're purchasing them, what to look for between the leaves and the rhizome size. And then the next thing is, at Holland Bulb Farms, we definitely want to make the planting process as simple as possible for you. So every iris is packed in a mesh bag with a colorful capper on it, which has information on how to plant as far as the planting depth goes. It also has the planting spacing. It has additional information in the bullet points on how deep to plant, where to plant, which iris need a lot of sun, so you want to plant them in a full sun location, and just all the little information that you can need to make the process better. So yeah, it's really, we definitely want to help our gardening friends out to make sure you have success when planting bearded iris and all of your other fall bulbs. So the last thing I kind of want to talk about with bearded iris is planting depth. They are very sensitive to rotting if, well, for one thing, planted in poorly drained soils. So if you're not sure if your soil drains well, you want to amend it with organic matter, compost or manure, or plant starter mix. But if you do have good soil, or you have done that already, when you plant, you want to make sure that the rhizome, that part of the rhizome, about half of it is showing above ground still. So if I were to plant this, I would have the soil level about right here where my finger is, so that I can still see some of the rhizome. So that's really important. If iris are planted too deep, they most likely are going to rot on you. So that's probably the biggest issue is, initial planting depth, that you make sure that it's correct, which is only, just about an inch or two below the soil surface. So yeah, definitely be sure to check your planting depth. And if you do that, they're fairly easy to grow once you get them started. They usually live a really long time. So if you're looking for a long-lived perennial that will multiply over years, eventually you can divide them, split them up, and give them to your neighbors. So sharing is caring. That's important. Yeah, so those are kind of the basics you need to know. I'll order now for early shipping. Orders that have only bearded iris on them will start shipping next week, and we are ready to ship your orders. And if you guys have any gardening questions, whether it relates to bearded iris, tulips are coming soon, and daffodils, anything for the fall planting season, leave a comment here. I'll be here, ready to answer any questions you have. So just, we're happy to help you, and leave us some comments on any sort of gardening related questions, whether it be bearded iris, tulips, daffodils, allium, anything, even anything we don't sell. We can help you out here. So leave us a comment. All right, see you guys later.